brothers and sisters, how you guys doing? Hope you guys are doing fantastic. I'm here to do this tag called My First Time, and this tag is just like a really fun tag that talks about your first time doing different things. So let's go. First words. My first word, according to my mother, was mama. So it's like mama, daddy, and no. I think those are my first words. The first best friend that I remember was a girl named Stephanie Meglerina. What's up, girl, if you're watching this? We were friends from about kindergarten to second grade, but then I moved away, so we lost contact until Facebook became available and we were able to find each other. So that was my first best friend. My first pet was a dog that we had in Ghana. I don't know the dog's name. I don't remember the dog really well, but people used to say that I used to like the dog and play with the dog, which is crazy because I don't even like animals now. So I didn't have a pet after that ever again. There aren't too many things that I'm afraid of, but I remember when I was much younger, my first fear was my mom not coming home. Like if it was late, and when I say late, like 7 o'clock, and I would look out the window and I didn't see her car, I would get nervous and I would think like, oh, what happened to her? Maybe something happened. I would start freaking out. So my first fear was something bad happening to my mom. My first grade teacher's name was Mrs. Ruiz. I don't remember her. I have no memory of her. She's the only teacher I don't remember. I remember kindergarten all the way through high school, but she's the only teacher I cannot remember. So must not have been that memorable. The first person I texted today was my baby daddy. First crush. I had a crush on this boy that did not go to my school. I don't even know how I met him or how I saw him. I might have saw a picture of him from somebody else. But I was in middle school and his name was Sean Paul. He was this Filipino guy and I was in love with him. I used to send him, when we finally did go to school together, I used to send him all these surveys that asked a million questions. Like the ones he used to get off of like MySpace that have like 50 questions. And I used to like fold them up and tell people to give it to him and he'd fill it out and give it to me at the end of the day. Oh my God, I was so in love with Sean Paul until maybe like the 8th grade. Then I finally just left him alone. Shout out to you, Shawnee. He knows. My first cell phone was one of those basic Verizon phones. It was like an LG silver flip phone. And I remember the screen was green. And I text not that often. But the thing was, the first day I got that phone, as we were walking home from the mall, someone stole it off of me. We're walking with, it was me, my sister, and 2 other girls. And we're walking. All of a sudden, when I get home, the phone is gone. And I swear it, one of those girls took it out of my pocket. And it was so messed up. I got into so much trouble. But that was my first phone. My first date was pretty typical. Went to the movies. And the movie that we saw was SWAT. I think I was about 15 years old. We walked to the mall and went to the movies and saw SWAT. That was my first official date. My first boyfriend was named Davion, and I met him at the mall. He was a great boyfriend. He was a great guy. Shout out to you, Davion. It's funny because he told me that when we first met, because I don't remember this, but he says that when we first met, I came up to him and I said, "What your name is?" What? No, I didn't say that, but I always remember that about him. He was a great guy. My first kiss was from a guy named Leon. And Leon was a couple years older than I was. We went on a double date. It was him, my best friend, him and his brother. We went to the movies. And as we were sitting down waiting for the movies to start, he says to me, "When the lights go off, I'm gonna kiss you." And so I was like, oh my God. I was sitting there scared, like, oh my God. I was just waiting for those lights to go off. I was so scared. But it was great. My first love was my ex-boyfriend, Jeffrey. That is the only person I can really say that I loved. My first YouTube video was on a wig, and the wig was called Coconut Girl. And I have it on my other channel, my Ghana Goddess channel, where I do wig reviews. And I love that wig. It looked so natural and so cute, and I was super nervous. I had no idea how to talk or how to act. Sadly, the video is pretty much just like the videos that I do now, so not much has changed. My first big purchase has to probably be my DSLR camera. I don't buy things that are extremely expensive. Well, my first big purchase was my education, okay? Because shoot, PhD program is not cheap. So that's probably my first big purchase. But as far as something more tangible, I would have to say one of my DSLR cameras. I usually spend like a lot of money on trips and traveling, more so than things that I buy. So I value experiences. My first job, well, okay, all of my jobs I've ever worked at have been at schools. I've always worked in some sort of school district. And my first job, I think I was about 15 or 16. No, I was 16. Can't work at 15. It was at a family resource center, which is basically like a place where people in the community with low-income students have like a program in the summertime where they read books, they go on field trips, things like that. So I was like a counselor for a program. That was my first job, and I was really excited because I had money. My first time out of the country was when I was first born. I was probably about 6 months old when I went to Ghana, and I lived there for a while. So that was my first time out of the country. Alright y'all, that's it. That's my tag, my first time. I tag everybody. Anybody who wants to do this tag, please leave a video response below so I can watch a video. And yeah. Oh, my hair. I have details about my hair in the info box so I don't get questions. I hope you guys are doing fantastic. I love you all. Mwah, mwah, mwah. And I'll talk to y'all later. Bye-bye.